Hey guys, welcome back to Zakari Hikari. My name is Zach, and here we discuss everything related to manifestation, conscious manifestation, higher consciousness, Neville Goddard, the law of assumption, all that good stuff. Before I start, if you guys want to work with me, all my information is down below. Okay, so I was debating how to go about this video for a while, and we're just going to jump into it. I had a few of you reach out to me, a few close clients, a few new people reach out to me and ask if I could maybe make a video about the current state of affairs that seems to be dominating, the headlines and everything going on in the world and all the fear and the crazy, this, that, and the other. And, my message isn't going to change. I can tell you, I'm not losing sleep over it. Okay, so I wanted to start because I think this is a much needed message, and I really do think with everything that is perceived to be going on right now is where the power of faith really does open up and allow you to really understand what I'm talking about when I say that your imagination, your first person perception is all you need to mind. And once you mind that, your personal world is completely unaffected by any of the nonsense going on out there. Okay, so I wanted to start this video with just, a few quotes from Neville to kind of frame the video and get it going. Okay, so in spite of all the organizations in the world trying to organize peace on earth, there are wars forever and ever. The conflicts in man produce conflicts in society. Okay, the next one's a little bit longer. You aren't going to deprive man of war, not as long as man is what he is. You aren't going to say, because I've had war and it's horrible, we're going to force peace upon you and stuff it down their throats. They've got to have it. We're all going to laugh or I'll kill him. Can't do it. Not while man can imagine. Until man actually is the embodiment of love, and he's not that until he's incorporated into the body of God. For God's body is love, the human form divine. And when you stand before him and he embraces you, you are completely fused with the body of love forever and ever. There is no divorce from that body, but until that day comes, you are capable of violence. Are you not taught that in Scripture? He takes the heart of a man and gives the man the heart of a beast, the mind of a beast. Read it in the 4th chapter of the book of Daniel. And he does it to man and let 7 times pass over man until man learns that the Most High rules the kingdom of men and gives it to whom he will. Dan 4:32. So you see in that one act of the elective love of God. And then a couple other quick quotes we got here. You are the same God who created and sustains the universe, but are keyed low. It doesn't matter what has happened in your life or what the evidence of your senses tells you. The power of the universe is in you. Because as I always say in this channel, you are the universe. Can you believe it? There is no other limitation other than man's capacity to believe what he has imagined. All things are possible to him who believes. So the only restriction placed upon man is his ability to believe what his reason, what his senses deny. That's all. No other restriction. Okay? Guys, I want you to really understand this, because I know a lot of you come here and you're looking and you're striving and you're trying to fix your perceived life of this world that you kept shifting from different realities, and you have the SP and the money and this and the that. But the lesson is you are reality. There is nothing outside of your state of consciousness. So the reason why I'm such a proponent of not just following Neville is because when you actually understand this and you actually look at the ancient texts, when you look at the Bible, when you look at the Quran, when you look at all the different religions, when you look at all the different spiritual greats who talked about this, Bashar, you have your own little reality bubble that you are responsible for from a first person perspective. That is why I am always saying, turn off the news, disconnect from what's out there, because when you take that on and then you infect your own consciousness with it, then you're going to start thinking from that first person perspective, thinking that that is your reality. Remember the whole idea that Bashar talks about with the glass walls, or the glass, what do you call it? Separators. I don't know. I forget the exact word he uses. But you can see into other realities around you because it's all consciousness. Just because you're seeing something out there does not mean that that reality is your reality. It means that that is a potential that exists. Why you are seeing it really doesn't matter. It truly does not matter. Remember, they did studies on this back in the 80s. You can look this up. They literally did studies where they placed people who were meditating on peace for their own personal reality in these war-torn areas, okay? And they would literally time it from the second they started meditating to the second that they stopped meditating. And in those exact areas where those people were meditating on peace, the conflict completely stopped. And the second they stopped meditating, the conflict started up again. War exists in consciousness, which is why it keeps happening. The more attention and focus that you're putting on war, the more you're going to create that, because you're feeding that mass consciousness of war as a reality. Remember, there are infinite different realities and infinite literal physical realities that you are reborn in every moment, literally based on your consciousness. And if you don't believe this and you're not ready for this message, that's fine. Go click on a video for the next best technique. Go fucking look at stuff that is talking about the lower levels and the Abraham Hicks and the feeling good and the woo-woo blah-blah bullshit. I am telling you that quantum physics is proving this more and more every day, which is why we literally see miracles on this channel with the people that I talk to, because they're able to look at their perception and literally from a first person point of view, they are dictating what they are conscious of. That is why Neville says imagination is the only reality. Imagination is is man's greatest gift, because you are an imaginal being. Behind this meat sack of a body, you are just internal, forever existing energetic imagination. And every time you're doing a technique where you're scripting or you're affirming or you're fucking visualizing, whatever you're doing, you are imagination. You are God communing with God. And if you are literally, your only job is to focus on your first person perspective and focus on your first person reality. You're not looking at the news and taking your cues from the news. You're not looking at what's going on out there and worrying about A, B, C, D, E, F, G. As long as you mind your imagination and you live there consciously daily, you don't care what's going on out there, because it's not going to affect you. Now, I have one very good friend who actually, he lives in Israel right now. He's lived in Israel his whole life, but he lives in Israel and he's a master at this stuff. And he's always laughing about it, because he came home and he lives with his family, and he came back to teach his parents about this. And he's teaching his family because he's helping them really navigate everything that's going on. And it's not about anything else. He literally says, like, the alarms go off every night. And the worst thing is, he'll lose some sleep once in a while, but he has trained himself not to react to noise, not to react to sounds of the 3D world, because to him, it is so irrelevant, and he absolutely maintains his inner peace. When you do that, you could be in the middle of anything, and you would be 100% completely unaffected, because that is where your consciousness is. But you're making this feeling of safety, or this feeling of protection, or this feeling of whatever it is, just a normal everyday thing. It's a knowing that you cultivate. And then when you do that, you shift into that reality where everything is peaceful and you are protected. I am serious. People, you can look this shit up, guys. This isn't just me coming on here and talking out of my ass. I've researched this. I've studied it. I've gone over this. You are reality. There's a reason why I always stick to that one point. You are the light of the world. And when you light up your light and you realize who you really are, that has the biggest, most profound effect on the actual reality you live in, because then someone else's reality lights up. Then someone else's reality lights up. Then someone else's reality lights up. Remember, there's nothing to even be afraid of. And the friend in Israel, he always jokes, because he's like, everyone's always running for the bomb shelter and running for this and running for that. He's like, it's fucking 2025. We have one of the best, all the countries have the best missile defense systems in the world, and everyone's running for cover when nothing ever even really hits anything. It's like, wow, what, people are enslaved to fear because they're addicted to that dopamine hit that they get from the physical body looking at the news. And I get it. In some places of the world, it's really difficult to escape the news. I get it. Especially in the States, I understand they have it on the TV all the time. Even in Japan, they have it on at the gym all the time. They have it everywhere. It's always like news. I was out with my partner the other day, and someone was looking up something on the news. And my partner mentioned it to me because he could see them on their cell phone about the current state of affairs. And I just said, it doesn't affect you. It has no effect over you. Don't even worry about it. Mind your peace and mind your love, and let go of what you physically, on a physical level, cannot control, because it's not about affecting things physically. Now, this is why when everyone's talking about, the anti-this demonstrations and anti-this demonstrations and all that anger and all this and all that, all you're doing for the anti-war demonstrations, in my opinion, and what I have felt energetically, even walking by that in the area of Shinjuku in Tokyo, I could feel this energetic, it was repulsing me. Because that focus on the war and that anger is only feeding consciousness of war and keeping that reality alive. I don't know how else to say it. When you know yourself as love and you know that you are love and one with love, focus on the peace. Feed your energy and your consciousness to the reality that you want to see. Not only will you only see that in your personal first-person perspective of reality, which is what this is all about, which is what Neville has always been about. All these teachers have always been about you shifting to different worlds, you shifting to different earths. Bashar talks about this all the time. Every moment of now, in every second, you have the opportunity to shift to a brand new version of Earth with a million times a second based on your own perceptions and your own consciousness. Now, I know Bashar uses a lot of terms like energy and this and that and the other thing, and they make it so fucking convoluted when it's not convoluted. What are you conscious of in your first person world? And if you are conscious of peace and harmony and everything is fine, then your life will literally be fine. I promise you, you will be unaffected. You could even have these experiences, but you would still be unaffected because you know who you really are. Remember, even Neville was in the war. I forget which, if it was, one of the wars, but he was in the war and he wanted to be honorably discharged from the army. And his commanding officer said, no. Just like the client on the success story I posted the other day, this girl, she was in India. She's from India, and her parents, she came back from England or London. I mean, same thing, but she came back from London, and her parents said, "You're never going back to London again." Blah 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 blah. And they basically locked her in a room. They took away her computer. She was calling in secret when they, I think from her closet, just trying to imagine and get out of this bubble of reality that she felt trapped in. And literally, she said, you can see it in the email in the community tab, she went to the airport and her parents said, we don't know why, we don't even want to let you go. We don't even know why we're doing this, but we're going to let you go because something's telling us that we have to. Just like Neville's commanding officer said when he wanted to be honorably discharged from the army. And the officer said to him, I don't agree with this. I don't know why I'm doing this, but something's telling me that I have to. It's your first person perception. There is no out there, John Wheeler. Everyone in your reality is a reflection of your consciousness as their own individual entities of consciousness. You're just interacting with all these different versions of people, and the version of somebody who shows up in your reality, again, the version of the world. This isn't just about specific people. This is why I'm always saying it's not about the fucking specific person. And I love my specific people. I love you guys. Truly, I do. But the message is so much fucking bigger. Every piece of your awareness is reflected out in the screen of time and space for your reality. Everything. Back to the levels of creation that I talked about in levels 4 and 3. The unconscious core beliefs and assumptions, how you think about the world, what you think about where you live, what you think about the race consciousness of where you grew up, what you think about the mass consciousness, what you think about things and how things work and this and that and the other thing. And the like beliefs that are even less conscious about how you perceive the world. All of your consciousness, every single detail is projected on time and space. And most of this, not only were these beliefs fed to you without your, knowledge or you could even say permission, because it's just how it works. And you signed up for this before you came into this body of, being a human. But you took on these beliefs, and the biggest problem most people have is that they're keeping themselves in this one linear time frame, thinking that because something happened back here, this is the reality that they're in now, and they're going to keep dragging that from there to here. And they're not even aware, because they become so good at trying to go to therapy and figure this out and figure that out and try to fix themselves and do this and do that they get more lost in those assumptions that have been operating back here that they're not even fucking aware of, related to love, money, safety, health, wealth, everything are still operating out here without them even realizing it. So then they come on this big manifestation journey and they say, okay, I'm going to affirm, I'm going to visualize, I'm going to effort, I'm going to try, I'm going to effort and fight my way to fix my reality. But then because they're fighting one reality when they exist in infinite different realities, they just get more stuck. And then they turn on the news and see that, this is happening and that's happening and this pandemic and this thing and that and the other thing. And then they infect their consciousness even more. And I saw this in my world. I remember in 2020, 2021, 2022, I went to the gym every single fucking day. And I would go up and it was a small little weight room. There was the cardio machines, there was the the assisted machines, and then they had like the free weights in a separate room. And in the free weight room, it was TV right there. And every single day they were playing the news. Every single day. And it was always the fucking doom and gloom of the news. And every day I would get up, I didn't care if anyone was watching me or not. I wasn't going to go to the gym and better my physical body and my health of this while polluting my consciousness. And I would watch these people like mouth agape, just sitting there on the bench, like fucking between sets, just watching the horrors of the world. And during 2020, that big thing was going around. I never had it. And I was going to the gym. I was hanging out with friends. I was doing everything because I wasn't allowing it in my consciousness. I wasn't even aware of it. My perception, my awareness was on health, safety, wellness, thriving, business, doing this, doing that. And 2020 to 2020, to now, really, because it's just always been great. It was like the best years of my life. Even now, I can't even say it's not, because it just keeps getting better and better as I progress and go through this journey. But I'm telling you guys, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. And when you put your awareness on that fear, you create more of that fear in your reality. And then you just, I have clients and like, I can't stop doom scrolling. I just can't stop looking at doom scrolling all night before I go to bed. I literally, if I could reach through the screen and fucking slap a bitch, like, what are you doing? Guys, you are not children. You have complete control over your physical actions in the 3D. And the next video I'm going to be doing is on identity versus self-concept, because I've had a lot of questions about that come up with my clients as well. And so people who have had some very powerful realizations on this that I want to go on when we're going back to the normal content. But this video is a video to deliver some hope, some faith for all of you, to let you know that no matter what you're seeing out there, the illusion is the illusion. It does not affect you. And when this illusion ends, you still continue on anyway. So what are you even afraid of? What are you afraid of? And when I get these clients who are saying that they're afraid and this and that, my heart goes out. My love goes out. I care about you guys. I get it. But again, all that is you still putting your power and giving, my message is you are the power. You are the light of the world, my first video, which I've mentioned I'll always mention that video. You are the only light of the world, in your reality. But when you are putting your awareness on these other things, whether it be an SP or this or that, the other thing, it doesn't matter. The size of the circumstance does not matter. To consciousness, it doesn't matter. A war is the same size in consciousness as a cup of fucking coffee. And it doesn't matter if the war out there in the mass consciousness of the mass world that you're in right now is going on. You and your only job is to mind your first person perspective, your first person reality. And the reason why people have such difficulty with this is because people do not mind their imagination. They will do anything but sit with themselves and truly imagine what they want to imagine and go to the center of knowing themselves as reality. They'll go there and they'll keep watching movies, or they'll binge watch Netflix. They'll watch all these horrible shows on TV that have all these fucking, terrible mass beliefs about relationships and this and that, and listen to this shit music. They'll go and, watch, I don't want to call anyone out on anything, but there's a lot of things out there that poison the mind and poison consciousness that I don't even put my focus on, and I am the happiest person I have ever known. Truly, I'm not, this is all coming out of like a very fierce place of love because I care about you guys so much. But you can't be giving your power away. This is not anything else from anything else. You have nothing to fear. If anything, everyone right now should be putting their focus and their attention and energy on living a world of peace, of safety, of this planet being perfect. because that consciousness is what's going to shift it. And if you're coming on here and you say, yeah, you know what, Zach's fucking full of shit, and I've seen the comments, I see you guys in there, and you say, well, if time is not linear. Someone left a comment the other day, hey, if time's not linear, then how come fucking P. Diddy is having all this shit catch up to him? Like, honestly, those types, like, I love everybody, but come back after you've studied this a little bit more. Like, come back when you're truly ready to get the message, guys. When you truly are trying to understand what I'm saying here, because that reality of that version of that situation exists. That reality exists. You're seeing it right now. Doesn't mean that's the only reality for that person either. Remember that. But this is what Neville's talking about, denying the evidence of the senses, because when you give your power to the senses and the world, the sensory world of information that is locking you into this 3D reality, that's where you lose your power, and that's where the fear comes in, and that is how war continues. Because man does not eradicate the idea of war from his own consciousness and keeps it alive, keeps the idea of disasters alive, keeps the idea of all this terrible things in the world alive, and that's what they see in their world. I'm telling you, even with Ranma, I read something on it was like something on Instagram, which is really just fucking a mindfuck of pollution. Instagram and social media. And of course, I was just on, Instagram, just scrolling through, just looking at fucking cat shit. And it said, oh, cats, blah, 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 kidneys are weak and this and another thing. And sure enough, that went into my awareness. I didn't do anything to fix it. A week later, he had a problem with his kidneys. I'm telling you, your first person perception of the world in entirety is all you need to worry about. And as long as you mind that and take care of that, you will never have anything to worry about, because you will be fine. But when you wake up in the morning and you just have that habit of turning on, fucking whatever everyone watches back, wherever you are in the world, there's always the morning shows, right? In America, I remember there was like Good Morning America and ABC Today, and they make it sound like it's like they're so sneaky in how they do it. Like they'll do these like musical concerts in the morning, so you tune in, but then you have to watch all this news before the concert person comes on, or they'll like do this cooking show mixed in with all this shit on war. And it's like just polluting people's mind, and it's taking away people's own power, or the belief in their power, or the ability to harness their power of imagination. I am telling you guys, there's nothing to worry about if you are focused on yourself. You could be in the middle of the worst event possible, and you would be fine. I have another client in the United Arab Emirates who I've spoken to a few times, and she's on the texting plan right now, and she was messaging me today. And she was all worried about everything going on right now in that part of the world. And I had the same conversation with her, and she messaged me today. She says, you know what? I've never felt so much peace in my world. And I literally watched my mom, and she was freaking out, and now she's like the most peaceful person in the world, because I put my focus on peace, so my reality is now peaceful. And she just felt all this love and contentment for where she was. And she will be absolutely untouched, because it's like a veil of protection, because it's your own world. You have the version of your own world within you being projected from your consciousness. And I know that it is so tricky to understand this, because I know that people are going to try to deny this and say, no, there's one reality, this is how it is, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, you know what? If that's true, I wouldn't be living the life I'm living in Japan right now, because this country, based on everyone I talk to around me, is not a foreigner-friendly place when it comes to work environments. It's not a place of freedom. It's not a place of living the life of your dreams. It's not a place of owning property and wealth when you're a foreigner. It's not, it's like, that's your world if you believe it. And this goes for every aspect. And when you shift your perception, because this is what reality is, it's a first-person experience, a first-person perception of reality that then you go on and you live in, you shift everything. And that is the message of this channel. I want everyone to light up their own light and truly become one with that light. And that is where you find the joy. That is where you find the love. That is where you find fulfillment. It's not something you chase. It's not something that you go after. I saw something on came into my Instagram today of a speech that Jim Carrey gave, and he was talking about this one time where he awakened and he had this big spiritual experience where he actually was able to see himself as the observer and the observed, which is something that a lot of people talk about when they get to that level. But then he made a joke and said, I've been chasing it ever since. And the audience laughed, of course. And I want to say, yeah, you're chasing it ever since because you aren't putting your awareness there. Like, you keep yourself out of that. I'm in that. Every day, I feel like I'm in that. And it just gets deeper and deeper and stronger. And I feel more and more connected to that. And I'm telling you, I'm not different than you. I went through fucking hell to get here. I had every reason to give up. From losing people in my 3D reality, a lot of people in my 3D reality in different ways, to overdoses and accidents and this and that, to diagnoses, to, this issue and that issue. I had every fucking reason to give up, and I didn't. Because I had that hope. I had that faith and that belief that I could be something more. And that wasn't the reality I was choosing for myself. And I created my dream reality. And I'm telling you, I am no different than you. I just spent a lot of time learning it. I did a lot of trial and error. And now I'm trying to have this channel just be like fucking manifestation for dummies. And again, it's a first person perception experience. So if you need help figuring this out and you don't know where your awareness is and you need a little bit of guidance to get yourself there, then by all means, reach out. I'm here for that. And I try to do it in a way that you actually get something from it. I had another client today who was talking to me, and this is a little bit of a rant, but she was talking about this guy that she signed up with, and she has all these money blocks, and the guy was telling her, oh, well, you can't manifest money because then you have to sell your soul for money. Like, what fucking kind of a belief is that? Like, these people out there who teach this shit and don't understand what they are teaching is insane. It is like, it's just fucking the blind leading the blind, and it seems like the people who spew the most shit get the most views, and they're not even really understanding it, and they're trying to make it seem like it's this thing that you do, when it's what you are, guys. You are consciousness. Another comment on the channel yesterday, well, if you're a fucking master, why don't you have 1 million, YouTube subscribers and live in a villa on the beach? I don't care about subscribers. I don't care. I just want freedom, and I'm free. Like, again, look at my money video. If you have a bank account that hasn't gone down in 5 years, what's the difference? Then why do I need to live in a villa? I didn't want to live in a villa. I wanted to live in Tokyo. I don't want, what? It's just, you can't know someone else's desire, but that's neither here nor there. But it's just, I get it. When you first come across this information and you're learning about this stuff, your 3D mind, your ego is going to try to fight it, and it's going to get angry. It's going to get scared. It's going to react, and you're just not ready at that level for that message yet. If you're not ready for the bigger message, because I deliver most of my clients, I would say 90% of the clients I talk to are people who truly get this at the highest of levels. I have people who've studied it for 20 years, 30 years, and they always say, you're the first coach I ever booked with. Something just told me I needed to book with you. Because they were ready for this message. Right? If you're not ready, if this does not vibe with you or jive with you, click off. Come back when you're ready, because I trust that you will be, and I will always be here with open arms for you. But I'm telling you, your consciousness of everything in this world is what is keeping you stuck in that reality of fear and lack and whatever. And if people out there are talking about it around you and they're all freaking out, take yourself away from the situation. You're going to find when you level up in this and you start to really come into this love, you naturally don't want to be around the same bullshit anymore. And the same people talking about the same problems and the same stuff, because you get to this level and they're not there yet, and that's okay. And you see them at that level, you see that they're going to be at that level, and they will eventually come join you at the same place. But it's not, and people say, well, it's such a lonely journey because I feel like I'm the only one going through it, but you're not. There's so many people going through this journey, and when you know that you are everything, how could you ever feel separate from anything, guys? Just go to the love that you are, and I promise you, you are safe. You are okay, and I will always, always, always be here for you. Whoever needs it, I am here. With love. I started this channel not to live in a villa right? Not to become a fucking millionaire and sell a bunch of courses. I started this channel because I want to help save my reality by lighting up the consciousness of everybody and showing everyone that they are okay. I'm getting emotional here, okay? I started this channel because I wanted to transcend this and translate this into Japan to help a country whose awareness is completely just on a bunch of bullshit. And that's why we're going to be doing Japanese videos and getting that out. And I'm going to do Japanese videos on the channel with subtitles, and I'll have another Japanese channel, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But I want you guys to really understand there's nothing to fear, because how could you fear anything when everything is your creation? It's your personal world. And that does not stop at just what's in your, immediate reality. It's your perception of all of it is what keeps everything safe within your world. And when you start putting your focus, and if you see something pop up in the news, say, oh, that's an interesting reality, I'm not choosing that. It doesn't affect me because I don't even have my focus on that. That's not my choice. That reality exists. If I wanted to be a part of that and have that affect my life, I absolutely could. That's why the news, One Piece, if you guys haven't watched One Piece, fine. There's a reason I always talk about it, and people in Japan always say One Piece is my Bible. Not mine personally, but that's a phrase that a lot of people say when they love One Piece. The Morgans, the guy who does the World Economic Journal, the news, he's always twisting everything and keeping people in fear and taking the truth and spinning it in order to keep people afraid. And Federico Fragan, I don't think I'm saying that correctly, but the guy I talked about in my last video, he says that people who crave power, they try to keep everyone down believing in this 3D world, because when they believe in it, then they can be controlled and have power over them. Now, if you believe that you are reality, truly, in your reality, no one ever controls you, so it doesn't matter anyways, okay? But it's going back to the idea that you don't give your power away to things that are out there. You stay within and mind your own world, and I promise you, your world will be absolutely beautiful. Water the flowers of your imagination. Go into imagination and truly see your world from a first person, right now perspective as you want it to be, and that is all you're going to see. I promise you. And if you need help with this, if you guys need someone to talk to, if you need a little bit of help in your journey, reach out. I will be here. I am here. I am always here for you. Okay? All right. I wanted to get this message out because a lot of people have been asking for it. This isn't the usual content that we talk about here. I want to go into how to really embody this, how to go about this, give different, this, that, and the other thing. But I felt like this message was really needed this week. Because a lot of people have been having that 3D mind really kind of bring them back to that fear. And I'm telling you, there's nothing to fear. There's just not. All right? All right. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. All right. Bye.